That would be so nice, wouldn't it? We'll watch for it for sure, for sure. But it was the cutest. He's the cutest for sure. So Neal, what's your educational background? Like, were you somebody who always had this thing for toys or stuffed animals, or what made you think of going that direction when you thought of something like this? I mean, obviously the elf, but like
No, honestly, this wasn't a happy accident. This was probably 10 to 15 years of structuring my life to be able to get to this point. I always wanted to make toys. I mean, I knew I either wanted to make comic books or toys or do something in that entertainment world.
Yeah.
Coming out of Michigan with my BBA, I went to Procter & Gamble. I didn't like it. It's a great fit for some people, like my wife, who's still there. For me, I'm just too flighty to work at a place like that.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting into grad school and decided to work at a kids-focused ad agency for the few months in between. And I ended up deferring school to stay there a year, and Hasbro was one of my accounts. So when I got to grad school, I called Hasbro and said, look, I've worked with you in the past. I'm at University of Virginia, getting my MBA. I don't care if you pay me. I just want to work there. And ended up getting an internship, working there 6 years, absolutely loving it. Came to Cincinnati, worked for Hasbro remotely for a while, went to another toy company, and then ultimately left the toy industry and wanted to get back into it, but it was trying to find a way in Cincinnati. And that's why I had this crazy idea. And honestly, I did Mensch on a Bench for almost 2 years before I quit my job. It was only once we went on Shark Tank and I knew we were going to get, almost $900,000 in sales, I felt comfortable enough. And even now, I mean, I barely take a salary. First 6 months a year, I can't afford to pay myself, as crazy as that sounds, because I take all my money and I put it into the materials to buy Menches. So if you need $500,000 in Menches, you need to put down, $150,000 in cash, send it over to China. Who is $150,000 around? So I'm running most of the year in debt. At this time of the year, I finally paid off the debt and had like a zero balance. And then hopefully at the end of the year, we end up positive and, I get paid.
So you, like the first year you sold about 1,000, correct?
Sold 1,000 in 10 days, which was crazy.
Yep. And then last year you did about 50,000.
Over 60,000.
Did you? Okay. And so now where, like, do you know, can you kind of know where you're at this point, assuming that people have ordered ahead? And I know there'd be some extras that would come in, but have you surpassed did you have a goal for this year? And
no, so you don't know until the end of the season. You kind of have to make your bet earlier in the year. So with an early Hanukkah, I said we're only making 50,000 this year, even though we did 60 last year. And I think that this is going to catch on more. There's only one way to kill a good toy, and that's to make too much of it. And I wasn't going to let that happen to Mensch.
Yeah.
So I could have sold out, right? And I could have pushed 100,000 pieces out there, and we would have sold 70, and everybody would have clearanced them out and never bought it again. So this, I treat it like it's my baby, and it's a long-term investment for me, not short-term. So we had the retailers wanting more.
Neal, what do you see as the future? Are your wheels always spinning and you're thinking of something new that you want to do all the time? I mean, you know how you came up with your dreidel and your menorah.
What year are we in? 2015?
Yeah.
I have 2016. I don't know beyond that. But
wow.
So my goal is that you're going to walk into a Target or a Bed Bath & Beyond, and there will be a whole section of Mensch. And there will be dreidels and menorahs and wrapping paper and candy bars and gelt. And that we are going to have a cartoon special that we're working on.
Oh, my gosh. There you go.
We sold the rights to the book already.
Wow. Yeah.
So
could have the Mensch and the elf, like, hanging out and being a couple. And it'd be a really cool cartoon, right? They could be that would be really the married two males, right? One's Jewish, one's not. What a great cartoon. We don't have one of those cartoons yet other than South Park, right?
We're working. We have some ideas. We're working with a studio called Pilgrim.
Cool.
Out in LA. They're great. We are working on it now. And, as for Elf, I think they kind of look at us like a kid brother. So It's almost like they just let us do our thing. They definitely don't bother us, but they don't really encourage us. Whenever I talk about them, I say the nicest things because without them and their business, we would not be able to do our business. They've never done anything to stop us or stand in our way. I've had dinner with their CEO. She is brilliant.
Wow.
She can think circles around me. I hate to say that, but she really can. So right now we go separate, but next year Christmas and Hanukkah fall on the same day. So I'd love to see us find a way to do something together.
Wouldn't that be nice? It would be really nice. I want to thank you so much for coming on today. I'm so glad I got to meet you face to face. This was so much fun. It's so much fun.
That's it?
Yeah, but my question was I have something actually I want to do with you.
It's a warm-up.
But all wait. Right. Oh, because you tell me what more you have to tell me. I don't want to take up too much of your time. You're a busy man making little dolls in your basement.
Oh, no, I just got the mail guy just came. We just shipped out 100.
Because you just got done making them last night, right?
Yeah. There were a couple questions. I'm going to scroll through.
Movie.
So for Larry, I had a couple questions. We raised $22,000 on Kickstarter. In reality, we raised $18,000, and I put in the last $4,000 because we were getting kind of close. And it was a good investment. And I had a friend of mine who actually said to me, I told him I was worried we weren't going to make it. And he said, you're going to make it. Whatever you're short at the end, I'm going to put in.
Wow.
And
that's
I
beautiful.
to let him do that, but it was nice knowing that that's how much people believed in me.
Yeah.
I had a couple distant cousins who wonderful couple. They're from Maryland. It's actually a gay couple. They have 4 kids together.
Wow.
I've met them maybe twice, but they are so nice. They gave $2,000 to my Kickstarter. And after last year, once we had done pretty well, I sent them the check back.
Oh, Neal, that's so nice.
If you gave
not with interest, did they want it with interest?
No, they did. Well, they also got all their mentions and everything. But
yeah.
So anybody who bought a mensch on Kickstarter for $36 or got their name in the book for $50, I feel like got a fair deal and got what they wanted. And the people who gave $2,000 to get 10 menches plus one with a gold talus, which was really unique.
Wow.
They didn't get $2,000. So I didn't feel right about that. Once we were successful, I felt like it was the right thing to do to pay them back. And they never asked for it. It was not the expectation. That's not how Kickstarter works, but it's kind of.
But you were being a real mensch.
But, you know, if you're going to run a company based on being a mensch, and you kind of have to live by those words. And,
look, someone said you're a mensch. I love it. I just saw that. That's great. Isn't he? He is.
With the movie, you know, it's funny. I'm got cousins everywhere. So I got a cousin in LA. I sent her a mensch on a bench. She had it on her desk, and she works for an entertainment company. And William Morris, who is one of the top, so somebody from William Morris walked by and said, "What is that? I love it." So the William Morris exec, and then the CEO of Pilgrim Studios looked at it and said, "That is awesome. I want that property." And that day they called and they were like, "Let's do something." And I was so nervous. I was like, "I don't know what I'm doing." But they get it. They got the idea of Jewish kids not having something to rally around.
Yeah.
And also, I'm very mindful of this will not be Santa Claus. This will never be bigger than the holiday. This is a tool to further the holiday. So if you read the book, Moshe plays dreidel, eats latkes, sings the prayer. He doesn't.
Not in the book, but
and he supports the Maccabees, right? It's not that because of him we have Hanukkah. It's we have the miracle of lights because of God, and Moshe was a witness to that. And to me, that's an important distinction as a Jewish dad, because I made this as a tool to teach my kids. And you know, I've said no to. I've had people come with offers to make some crazy things like wine stoppers, and I was like, wine stoppers is too far for me. Dreidels are okay, menorahs are okay,
diapers, that's okay.
Maybe diapers at someday, but not yet. Candy bars, I like the candy.
Yeah, I like the candy bars too. Do your kids like? Do their friends come over and think you're just like a super badass and you're amazing because of this, what you've done? Do they all have them?
They think I'm weird.
Do they?
They really do think I'm just a big kid.
I love that.
Like I had a kid come over last night. It's like, what's a Hanukkah?
Oh.
And I'm like, and his dad's, we're becoming good friends with him. His dad's a pastor. And I'm like, my son was like, I want to be friends with Jeremiah, and I want you to be friends with his dad. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I end up sit down with this guy, nicest guy in the world, and we get talking, and he's a pastor. And I'm like, Jake, you didn't think it's a little funny that, I'm running the Jewish toy company, and you want me to be best friends with the pastor? And we're hitting it off, and it's kind of one of those hilarious things that you kind of live by the sword, die by the sword. If you tell your kids, be proud of being Jewish, but be welcoming to everyone, and then they live by those beliefs. It's interesting.
That's cool.
Jeremiah's going to get a Mensch this year. And I go into their schools every year. I read the books to them, to all their friends. So it's part of kind of what I do.
Good. Again, a Mensch. You're a good guy, right? So do you get to stay? So while your wife's out working during the day, do you get to you're just doing your business stuff at home and cleaning the toilets, or?
It depends on the time of year, but this time of year it is stressful.
Yeah.
There is already a second book called the Afi Mensch.
Oh.
Which sold out last year, and then I think Friday night is my Shark Tank update, and that is where you'll get a sneak peek at what the next book will be coming out next Hanukkah.
Oh, nice. That's really good. You should send me the link, and I'll throw it on all my stuff, too.
Okay.
I wouldn't listen for the world, Trebek.
Yeah, for sure. Can he hear all that you're throwing on? Okay, sorry, Neil. My producer's really into putting in extra noises all the time.
Yeah,
I love it, though, but it's funny. I just want to make sure. Do you have anything else you want to tell me?
No, I think you should try and keep kosher instead of not so kosher, but besides that.
Well, it's you're okay, you're right. Do you keep kosher?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't either.
No, I'm just having fun with you.
I just pretend to.
Kosher, but that's it.
I just wish I did, but it's too hard because our deli, unfortunately, is milk and meat.
I tell you what, I kosher style.
There you go. Yep, we're kosher style.
I never have a glass of milk with a hamburger.
That's nasty.
I don't eat, pork ribs, but I don't keep strict kosher.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, cheeseburgers we like, right?
On occasion.
Okay.
On occasion.
What? So, anything else you want to tell me? Anybody else? Jew light. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one.
Jewish.
No, Jew light. I think that'd be cute. A little Mensch light. His night light. Right?
Let's see, Larry.
Is that
Larry,
what she means?
Email me at just go to the Mensch on the Bench website.
Ooh.
And you can find out there's a contact and it'll go right to me.
There you go. You need to do this all the time now, Blab, right?
This is kind of fun.
This is awesome. I like it much better because I need a visual. I'm just more of a visual person. We're going to put this on on the Alive and Social Network.
You said I thought you'd be taller. No, I'm 5'2". I'm a little.
I thought you'd be tall. You're 5'2"? Wait, what? Seriously?
Oh yeah, I'm a little fuzzy.
Oh shit! I love that. I'm a little Mensch. That's so funny because I'm only 5'3.5", and my husband's like 5'10", and he's a shrimp to us. Yeah. But I love short. Oh my god, I love you. You're almost legally a midget. Do you know that?
I did 5-foot Mensches, so they would be the same size as I am because I thought that was funny.
I love that. It's fabulous. You do not look short in your like Facebook stuff and your Mensch stuff and nothing, not at all.
I am short. Those are cards I was dealt. So
You know what? It's beautiful. We're lucky.
I want to ask a question. I'm the producer. You can't see me, but I have a quick question for you. Being that you make toys now, what was your favorite toy growing up, or what was the toy that got you to start really wanting to work for Hasbro, I guess?
I think the toy was probably Transformers.
Yes.
Right when they came out with their Beast Wars. There was something about they had cars, and then they had these Transformers that were insects, and it was such a cool thing. And I love G.I. Joe. So when I got to go to Hasbro and run G.I. Joe, I got to run the 25th anniversary. So I got to remake all the stuff from my childhood, and that was so incredible. One of my friends is now Sergeant Slaughter. who was this 80s hero to me. And now it's like the two of us would go out for dinner, and I still can't believe it.
Wow, that's awesome. That's quite the dream. That's cool.
Grant's going to be like all la 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 all evening.
I love the Transformers growing up and G.I. Joes. I also grew up with a lot of Tonka toys, so I know that I think there's a connection. Hasbro may have purchased Tonka toys way back when.
Worked
but
on Tonka as well. And then Tonka